Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video with news and information related to the Japan travel ban that is affecting international students but also workers, families, and I will be able to share today also some news related to tourism. So who's thinking to come to Japan for a trip can also watch this video to find some news related to when Japan may open the borders for tourists as well. Since there is a lot of content that I will share in this video, I prepare here a quick recap of what's going to be shown in the video. So please see the list on my side. And as always, I put in the description a list of topics that we will be discussing together with the timestamp. So if you go in the description and you have a specific topic that you wanna see, you can click on it and you will just go to the right part of the video. So let's go and let's get started with the topic today. Just as a reminder, I made a video a few days ago talking about the 5 things that you can do to keep yourself positive and productive while you wait to enter Japan. Please check it out. I want to remind everyone, and that's super important, we have an event this Monday, the coming Monday, the 19th of July at 5 p.m. Japan Standard Time. If you want to know when it is, you can use this tool, which I will link also in the description together with everything else that I will show you. You can just put your city, it will show you what time is in your country. So that's just an example. Of course, there are going to be some of you, especially who is in America, North and South America, that will have very early time, and other of you that actually is just Monday morning. So please watch it, and it's written here in the description what will be about. But basically we will have students stranded outside Japan and schools talking and asking the government to open the borders by October. It's very important that a lot of you are attending the event and show the support, liking, sharing the event, attending, since we will have a live chat where you can show your support and you can answer the questions that we will be asking live. And if you know anyone that could be interested, please share the link. You can find the link again in the description. Thank you very much. Moving on, I want to show some update about our educationisnottourism.com. First of all, our support list has grown massively. We receive every day 10 to 15 new support offers from Japanese companies, Japanese people, Japanese teachers, for example, but in general, people and companies that are affected by the Japan travel ban. And as you can see, we grew the list of supporters a lot, and I invite you to go on the website and check them. And we also have two. Recently, we have the Nishinkyo Association for the Promotion of the Japanese Language Education, which is a group of 285 schools that is supporting our activities. And we also have Ion Holdings. It's a positive thing that we are not alone. We have a lot of support here in Japan. The main goal is to really reach Japanese people and Japanese media, and eventually the government to open the borders by October and let us know as soon as possible when students can enter Japan. This is why we create a Japanese version of the site. If you see our analytics, this is just as a new site, so we start tracking analytics actually since just 1 week. You know, the traffic is actually increasing, so hopefully this number will be much more. The thing that I really want to show you, that most of the 1,000 users that we got are coming from Japan. That was our goal from the very beginning. The other great results that this site is going is media exposure, since we are able to reach more and more media. Nippon.com is a very famous site that interview 2 of the students, Iku from Belgium and Maria. Find the long interview I made on this channel, report their voice as well, and is saying here, I have been stranded outside, I feel like I've been abandoned. This is the story of 27,000 students that are suffering, not able to enter Japan for the study abroad. And I invite you to read the article, since, you know, it's the testimonial of Iku and Maria together with the support of one of the school we are working together in educationisnottourism.com. So please see this article. I will link in the description. Also, we have another article. This is more like study abroad business related website. However, is reporting our educationisnottourism activities and basically describes what we are doing. Thanks to this article, actually, I was contacted by the Pi News, is an international education website that has interviewed me and have also expressed the situation of international students. So I will link also this in the description. Another website that I think is very important to mention in this channel is is.gd. I was reached by one of the person affiliate to it and asked me to talk in this channel, and I'm doing so right now. And Love is Not Tourism is a global movement dedicated to reuniting binational couples and families who has been separated by travel bans and border closures during the COVID-19 pandemic. It's not just for Japan, it covers pretty much every country in the world. If you go on the Japan section, it's not updated yet right now, but I think they're gonna put some information on petition you can sign. You can find the link in the description as always. Next, as I do every week on my updates, I wanna share how things are going in terms of cases and vaccination in Japan, since it's important to keep an eye, because the decision of opening the borders, it will surely be connected on how low cases are and how good vaccination is progressing. So we are around 2,200 cases per day now, which is again an increase since less than 1,000 we had for once or twice just 2 weeks ago. So hopefully this is gonna not grow too much. And thanks to the vaccination, and I think now 75% of over 65 in Japan have been vaccinated, the number of deaths has been decreasing, and that's a good sign. And on the right, you can also see the daily tests. Since someone asked me in one of the previous videos comments to show also the testing, Japan now is testing about 50 to 60,000 per day, and positive, since they are about 1,000 to 2,000, I would say is about 3% of the tested people are positive right now. Going to vaccination. So this is something I wanted to show. The goal of Japan government is to do 1 million per day. And for about 3 weeks, they have passed the goal by a lot. Now they're having distribution problem. Vaccine are scarce in many clinics that are canceling appointments. So I hope that this number stabilizes around 1 million, which is still a great pace to reach 80% of people vaccinated in Japan by November, which is their goal, and having 60%, I think 50 or 60% vaccinated by September, which is another great result. Right now we have about 30% of the population that has received at least one shot, and we have about 77% of over 65 that have received at least one shot, with 50% that have fully vaccinated. So this is a really good number, and will help people getting seriously ill to decrease even further in the next days, I think, and I also hope, of course. Going to the news, I want to show some news related to the vaccine first. This news says that Prime Minister Suga accelerates vaccination to normalize economic activities, making every effort to bring it forward. So clearly want to push on vaccination as a way to get out of the coronavirus pandemic crisis. At the meeting, Prime Minister Suga indicated that the economic recovery will be in full swing as measures against the new coronavirus are thoroughly implemented and vaccination are promoted, and that the GDP is expected to exceed the pre-coronavirus level by the end of this fiscal year. Again, this is how important will be vaccination for the government. And Japan is going to accept requests for vaccine passport from July 26th. Chief Cabinet Secretary Kato told reporters that some municipalities may be able to issue such certificate on the day of the application. So by the end of July, we will see some first vaccine passport certificates. And also, Kato said that we should never allow people to be discriminated against or forced unfairly according to whether they have been vaccinated or not. So it won't be that something won't be possible for people not vaccinated. I think it just maybe easing some restrictions like immigration, quarantine, or entrance to some events and things like that. The country's largest business lobby here in green, the Japan Business Federation, Noza Kaidenren, has proposed using the certificate for raising event attendance caps for restaurant discounts in Japan. And here in purple, Japan is looking to have its vaccination passports accepted by over 10 nations, including Italy, France, and Greece, according to government sources. It hopes the countries will exempt holders from quarantine requirement or reduce quarantine period. So still there is no talk about those foreigners entering Japan. However, I don't expect countries to accept the Japanese vaccine passport if at the same time Japan doesn't accept their vaccine passport. So hopefully there's going to be some reciprocity here. It's not decided yet, and we will just keep an eye. I think we will know pretty soon how this will be used, and hopefully we will have some news also for foreigners entering Japan, not just for Japanese people using the vaccine passport. Another news is that the JATA, the Japan Association of travel agents had a press conference at his headquarters in Tokyo. This news that appeared on the 9th of July, it's really important because it gives an hint on when travel could restart. So not just international students or workers or families, but also who wants to come to Japan for tourism. And they've specifically discussed here in yellow about domestic travel, but also inbound travel from abroad. And they recognize how important it is to restart international travel and also inbound tourism, so from outside to Japan, because it has been declining massively, and a lot of members of the JATA association actually, they work with the foreigners coming into Japan. So it's a clear issue from them. And what they are saying here, based on the Keidanren's proposal, 80% of those aged 65 and above are expected to be vaccinated in July and August. 50% of the entire population in September, and 80% by the end of the year. And international traffic is expected to resume at the beginning of 2022, when the population is expected to gain immunity. However, a lead time of about 6 months is required for the preparation of tours, and if we do not know when the intake rate and risk level will be lowered, we cannot decide when to start making tours, he said, explaining the difficult situation. So I think this is a first clear hint when the JATA is pushing the government to let the tourism to restart, because it's saying, we understand that based on all the data and analysis done, we are going to have tourism to start at the beginning of 2022. So it is a clear statement that it will be January, February, March 2022. However, please let us know in advance so we can prepare the packages, the tours. Don't let us know at the end of December, oh, from the 1st of January, some people can enter Japan, because then we will not have the time to prepare properly. So I think that's a really good message for who's waiting to enter Japan also as a tourist. The very end here in yellow as well, there is a mention of the tourism white paper that I showed to you in another video, where it was clearly said that by the end of the fiscal year, some selected group of tourists will be able to enter the country. So these informations are matching, and I think there is a concrete hope, even though nothing is decided and there is not an official date yet, there is a concrete hope that some tourists could enter Japan by March 2022. And the JATA is asking to know the dates as soon as possible so they can prepare. And that means for students and workers and families that they should be allowed to enter the country earlier than that, because I think there is no way that they prioritize tourists before long-term future residents. This is actually thanks a lot to one of my followers on Twitter that sent this to me. It's in German, so I had to translate. But as it says here, Japanese ambassador in Germany has visited Ms. Anja Karliczek, Federal Minister for Education and Research in Germany. They exchanged ideas about the Japanese-German cooperation in the field of science and technology, as well as about protection in schools from corona. I also conveyed the hope that after the corona infection situation has come down, the student exchange between our two countries will be resumed. So thanks a lot, of course, to the Japanese ambassador for bringing the issue of student exchange not happening, and in general students not being able to enter Japan. Hopefully that will be resumed soon. This document that I'm showing here, it's very important because it's an official request made to the Prime Minister's office, an agency for cultural affairs, from 6 organizations that group together a lot of schools, a lot of education-related entities in Japan. The 6 groups are the Nishinkyo, which is also supporting our activities with educationisnotourism.com, the Association for the Promotion of Japanese Language Education, the JALSA, the Japanese Language School Association, Nihongo Gakko Network, the National Association of College for Japanese Language Education, the Association for Non-Profit Japanese Language Schools, and All Japan Association for Japanese Language Education. So those 6 groups, they cover a lot of schools, a lot of education entities in Japan, and they together made a statement to the Prime Minister's office that I will link this document in the description, but explains how difficult is the situation for those businesses. Is saying that the 6 organizations are unanimous in saying that they would like to see an early relaxation of the entry restriction for privately financed foreign students who are waiting to study in Japan because their entrance to Japan is public interest, non-substitutability, and there is urgency as well for them to enter Japan. So I want to now to do some Q&A. One question that I want to pick up is very simple. Actually, it was written in Italian, so I'll translate for everyone so everyone can understand. Is will it be possible to travel for tourism in April 2022? So I mentioned something in this video. Japan Association of Travel Agents has said that it will be possible to travel from next year. However, government, please let us know this year, before it's too late, about your plans so we can start preparing the packages and the tours. What are the rules? What are the conditions for travel to restart? So we have a hint here that they're already moving towards next year. And also, I show in one of my previous video the 2021 white paper on tourism that was released and approved by the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism in June, that says clearly that they want to restart tourism by the end of the fiscal year, so by March 2022. However, it was mentioned that it will restart with selected groups. So I think for mass tourism, so for a normal individual that want to take a flight and with a tourist visa, come to Japan, not do the quarantine, April 2022 seems to be too early, but that's just based on the information I have. So things could change, things could, could happen earlier, could happen later. That's just speculation we are doing. However, some sort of tourism should happen early next year between February and March 2022 from the way they are moving. It could be, for example, JTB, HIS, some selected agency that can have a low number of tourists to come here to test things out and then letting more students to come maybe by summer next year. That's just my guess right now, since no one knows really what will be decided officially. Another question that I would like to bring up, what about accommodation for students? Do you think places will let students book living spaces if no one knows 100% where the borders will open? And if the border opens in late September, early October, that is extremely late notice for students who are hoping to attend school for October term. That's a really good question, because let's say that the border opens suddenly at the end of September, like it happened last year, then a student doesn't just have to book a flight and pack everything and just prepare to go to Japan in few days and just fly in few days to don't lose the school term start. It needs to also to find accommodation. And I asked to Gogonion team to answer this, since they are the most knowledgeable, since they work very close to many real estate, many agencies, many share house agencies in Japan. And they told me that it will really depend on the real estate you choose. Some of them may already accept reservation in advance, even with the border closed. Or you may prefer to wait to be sure when you can enter before paying any reservation fee. If you're using Gogonion, please ask for advice to your student coordinator. If you're not using Gogonion, you could choose a real estate that lets you book in advance if that's your preference, or you could choose a real estate that can wait for payment at the time you actually know when you're gonna fly. So I think each agency will have different rules. That's everything for today. Thank you very much for watching as always. Please leave a comment if you have any questions, and I will make sure I will reply to you in the next video. As always, please like and share this video to help me to raise awareness about the situation of international students, workers and families that are stranded outside Japan. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next video. Mata ne!